Well, welcome to another episode of Rimshots with Sean, right here on Eastlink TV after Friday Night Hockey. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm here with a couple of, we're going to explain in a minute, but we got the wonderful Toni Croft, the wonderful Melissa Now, and we are here to talk about volunteers. And I've got two of the finest you're ever going to meet, if you haven't. So, Toni, start with you. We'll get both of you guys to weigh in. So, we did a thing, started it last year. It was a Side Hustler of the Year, Volunteer of the Year award. You two were our first recipients.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about what volunteering means to you, because you do so much of it.
I was thinking before I came here today, and I started volunteering when I was in high school for the Canadian Red Cross. And ironically, that's how Melissa and I met. We volunteer on an emergency management team,
Okay.
but I also work at Canadian Red Cross, but off hours. So that's how we met. And volunteering means to me is giving back, and I feel that I receive so much more than I give.
Huh. And what about you, Melissa?
I think it's a way of building community, and it's a privilege to be able to do what I do every day. And so I work in crisis. I see a lot of people on their worst days.
Sure.
So giving back is a way to kind of help where I can.
So I've got I've volunteered a lot, not as much as you guys. I mean, who hasn't? Let's be frank. I mean, you guys are like the champs, right? But, I got my start in minor sports, right? And what I used to see was a lot of people getting involved, but it wasn't necessarily because of the cause. They get involved because something hit them in a certain way. The good volunteers made it bigger than themselves. You had the fly-by-nighters that were kind of like you figured it out pretty quickly. They were just there to get something out of it. They kind of, the event happens, you can't find them, or they're a one and done type thing. You see a lot of that in your volunteer travels.
That's a difficult question.
You don't have to name names.
Occasionally,
Okay.
but what I seem to, it's always the same ones. Seems
Right.
like that do step up. And if you believe in the cause, you believe in the benefit, the person you're supporting, whether it's someone going through cancer or a family that may have lost everything because of a home, I can see how we are helping.
Right.
And it takes, I think I've heard this so many times, it takes a village.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that are behind the scenes and that may be not recognized. So when we accepted, I believe, the award, I felt that we were accepting it on behalf of many volunteers that we work with.
Well, and you know what? What a great thing to say, because you give out something like this, and I mean, we started it. That's Tony's. Melissa's is in a safe place that we can't divulge, but it's tough because had you guys not got the award, I think you would have cheered for whoever got it. I mean, I don't think you would have, that's shiny you, right? And unfortunately, you don't always get that, right? There's people that, how do I gently say it? I can't, so I won't. They do it for the wrong reasons, and they think they're doing it for the right reasons. And, my experience has told me they're not really a volunteer that you want to take on, because they become more of a problem and more of a challenge. And would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes people are doing it to get experience, which is great.
Right.
Trying to get references for applying for jobs and those
Sure.
kind of things, and sometimes for the recognition. But those folks tend to burn out a lot faster too. They don't get the same kind of joy, I think, out of it as when you're in it for the right reasons.
Right. Absolutely. And I had somebody say to me a couple of weeks ago, they were like, "Well, what outside of music, what have you ever volunteered?" And I kind of laughed, because I've got a ton of, and I'm not one to go, I did this and I did that, but I've been able to do some cool things, but more importantly, meet some really cool people by volunteering for certain events. And it's I think it's, outside of being a missionary, it's probably one of the highest forms of missionary work, because you really do it for the cause if you're in it for the right reasons, right? Right. So we got the award here. We're going to talk about a couple of heavy-hitting things that you both do, and they're not even in your backyard. So we'll go down some of the things that you do in your backyard, but you're involved with Caribbean Goes 80s, which I am, and we'll start with you, because every year you've been doing this trip to Guatemala, and I'm sure everybody goes, "Why would you go to Guatemala?" Why don't you tell everybody why you go to Guatemala?
So my passion for travel kind of helps, gets me to a sunny destination, which is awesome. But in Guatemala, I've connected with a group of folks, and a dear friend of mine actually was adopted from Guatemala, and she runs a children's home there. And so every year I go and spend a lot of my time that I'm there volunteering. There's a lot of outreach stuff that happens too, building beds, taking beds to elders or inner city kids, that kind of thing. So we do a lot of different outreach as well, which is awesome. And this year I traveled for my 18th time to Guatemala.
Incredible. So tell people if they don't know what it's like down there, because I'm assuming you're probably looking for people at some point in time to go as well, but you're looking for people to give. What would they expect to see if they were down
there? The country is beautiful. Yep. There's volcanoes and everything. There's extreme poverty, and there's no middle class. There's a very few folks that are wealthy, and the politics are very different in the country as well. So
oddly enough, like Canada. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So you do see a lot of need. One of the most touching things I've been able to do, and most meaningful and powerful experiences, has been working with youth ministry and going and supporting the homeless. We were invited into a hospital where the homeless were staying outside of. Yep. They were sleeping on the streets outside the hospital because in other areas of Guatemala they were hosed down by the officials and were moved along. So it was a safe place for them to be. But just working in healthcare, as I do, the contrast is amazing.
Right. And just before we wrap for this first part of this first segment, what is it you do so people, because everybody gets most of volunteer, but what is it that you do?
For work?
Yeah.
I'm a mental health crisis worker for the provincial crisis team.
Which is definitely a full-time job in this day and age. We're going to take a little break here, and we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of Caribbean Goes 80s after this. Welcome back to Rimshots with Sean right here in Eastlink TV. I always have to say after Friday Night Hockey, which is a highlight of everybody's night. Here with Toni Croft, Melissa now, we're talking about the importance of volunteers. So just before the last segment, Melissa was telling us about Guatemala. I got to say that really, it's a tongue twister if you say it too fast and you get a speech impediment like I do. The fantastic work that she does with her friends down there. So now we're going to talk about Caribbean Goes 80s because you've done it for a couple of years. This was my first year. And one of the things that I've been saying since I've been promoting it, you can go down to all kinds of kitchen parties, all kinds of great locales. It's absolutely amazing. See some great musicians. This is the only one that has a cause attached to it. So if you just want to go down and party, find some place to do it, that's great. But if you want to make a difference, you come to Caribbean Goes 80s. Is that a pretty good?
That's exactly.
Okay, so you were saying before we started that the goal is to get supplies down there. And you talked to Dennis, and the amount was?
4,000 pounds.
Okay, so think about that. For 4,000 pounds of everything from loose leaf to pencils to
medical supplies.
I saw a thing today, the resort in Veradero. Mm-hmm. There's somebody that there's a little fellow that needs trachea tubes, and they're trying to find people to bring them down. So that's the type of community that gets set up by this thing. Mm-hmm. You get to see some great music. There's no question about that. But one of the things I found is everybody came together, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Talk about that a little bit.
It was for me, it was very emotional. I attended last year and this year.
Yep.
And the community is built even deeper this year, I believe. And we had the privilege to go to the school in Mintanza and have performances. Art, music, and sport is the project that we're supporting. And to see the children receiving the school supplies, shoes, clothing, hats, art supplies, it's very, very emotional. Jewelry supplies, you name it, they received.
Yep.
And when I was helping to pack up the bus to go to the school, the project, I could not believe that there was a large bag of medications that I could not lift. And I'm guessing it was probably 70, 80 pounds.
Wow.
And that was donated. It's just amazing to see the support and the appreciation that that we receive.
Yep.
So it's, again, I feel that I receive more than what we're giving, and to know that 4,000 pounds between Caribbean Goes 80s and Caribbean Goes Country that were donated is it's just phenomenal. And there's so many people that come together, like yourself. You've done so much to promote, and we see firsthand. We've seen firsthand how the artists come together,
Yep.
and with the guests and with the staff too. They're all so appreciative.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things is that when you volunteer, like you say, you know who. Like our crew went down there, and they just knew their job. And I mean, we had a great time. Don't get me wrong; it was amazing. And some of the funnest times, and we talked about this quite a bit, was after the show. We'd sit out, we'd just all hang out and have a drink, and you joined us a couple times. But to be able to do that was very cool because you're sitting there going, okay, well, we're doing something for a cause. People are having a great time, but it's not just me playing so that people can cheer me on, and you know what I mean. So it's got a real different thing attached to it. So I encourage anybody that's watching this to go, obviously look at what Melissa's doing. Reach out to her. You can find her on Facebook because they need help. Caribbean Goes 80s needs help. They're important. They're important, and doesn't mean you ignore your own backyard because there's you do that as well. But you can do both, and I think a lot of people think it's a this or that. It's not a this or that. It's a choose. So another neat thing happened down there the Wednesday, and it was probably the best live experience I've had. Well, if not the best, one of the best of my life. We played a show. So Michelle Ryder's band Side Hustle backed up all the acts, and of course she did an hour to kick it off or end it. Sorry. You took a video from room, was it 27?
I'm getting emotional here.
2734, is that right?
Yes.
Tony took a video of Michelle doing a sound
No,
check.
2634.
2634. I'm telling you, if you go to the Grand Ashton in Verdure, that is like, there should be a star and a gold door in that. It's like legendary now. Tony takes this video from her balcony. It's just kind of like, I guess you're thinking, oh, I'll get the video. It'll be pretty cool. And we're sitting here on May 10th. 99 days to Rock the Harbour, by the way. We'll get to that in the next segment. But Tony takes a video and posts it. And this video to date has 166,000 views. It's Michelle singing Separate Ways by Journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm told Neil Sean, the guitar player from Journey, has seen it. I haven't heard any feedback yet, but that's pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah. Not because it was just like it was a wow factor. And it was just a fluke. And taking the view of, well, of course, Michelle and Side Hustle, hearing the song in the background, and then the resort as well.
It was amazing. And the thing was that somebody was like, "Oh, you're just promoting yourself." No, I keep posting it. Like I stopped for a couple of days because people get sometimes, right? But it was just like every time I posted, it was like Tony had a video that did that. Like you're out there posting pictures of what you're eating, and you're getting 100 views. And Tony got 166,000 views. I mean, come on, you got to give some claps to that, right? And that really, I think, summed up that entire experience, right? So it's very cool. So, Melissa, if people want to find out how they can help your cause with Guatemala and whatnot, where do we send them?
Yeah, if you search El Amor, it's EL space AMOR to Patricia. They have an excellent website, and there's different projects that you can target your support to for them.
That's amazing. That's amazing. In Caribbean Goes 80s, there's a Facebook page, Caribbean Goes Country. It is 2026. It's been updated. I can't let any details out, but there's going to be a real cool contest coming up. Confirmed it with Mr. Dennis Woodworth there the other day, so that's going to be neat. And Michelle Ryder's going to be back. That's going to be people want to get involved in volunteer. We got about a minute left. They want to get involved. What would you tell them?
Follow your passion. There's lots of opportunities locally. Look at what lights you up. What kind of feeds that passion. The local SPCA. Go to Habitat for Humanity. Like there's Red Cross. There's some great opportunities out there.
You'd say the same thing?
I would say the same thing.
Yeah, and I would say just get involved because you do, and you feel pretty good about it, right? And the selfishness, if you have any, if you're doing it for the right reasons, disappears pretty quick. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this segment this week because it's important, and volunteers do not get enough due. So we're going to say adios. Tune in next week. If you like us, go subscribe. And hey, we'd love to give you one of these if you volunteer. See you next week. Well, welcome back to Eastlink TV after Friday Night Hockey. Sean here, Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. I am here with Miss Michelle Ryder. We are at Alderney Landing. 99 days from today, which, figure that out. You can figure out what the date is. We're here on a Saturday. We're here talking Rock the Harbour. You excited?
It's the understatement of the century. Yes, I'm excited. Yes.
So she's on tonight with it's her, Men Without Hats,
Sass Jordan, and Big Sugar.
Big Sugar, right? So you're going to have Miss Ryder, you're going to have the safety dance, you're going to have another big singer, and then you're going to have Gordy Johnson. It's going to be a big night. I know what's going on, but let the people know what's been going on in terms of what can they expect out of Michelle Ryder at Rock the Harbour.
If I could figure out what exactly to expect, I would be able to sleep at night myself. I mean, I've been to the show, but it's very different when you're the one standing on the stage. And I am infinitely excited to be a part of this, and I'm a little nervous. Not enough to ever have it cross my mind that I would not want to do it. I want this more than most things. But even just trying to figure out what to wear, or, you just break down all the little moments in your head, and you're trying to plan something that can't be planned. It has to be organic. It's going to happen the way it's going to
Well, it's
unravel.
interesting. Just talk about the venue for a second, because you said about being on the other side of it. What was your impression of the venue? Like, we missed the first one here in Ireland, but what was your impression of the whole experience last year?
It's vividly clear how much work this team puts into this festival.
Yeah.
And I've worked on teams that have gotten some things done, so I know that it's a full-on year of flat-out planning and preparation and a lot of thought. And, just because you're not at work doesn't mean you're not thinking about it all the time.
That's a very good point.
And I know I've met these people, everyone on the team, and they do think about this all the time, with every event that they put on. Very well thought out. They rely on... Lori's probably one of the only people, organizers, and of course Bea and her team, but they actually listen to the musicians.
Yeah.
They take suggestions that unfortunately a lot of entities just go, oh, we know better, we know what we're going to do, and they run it like a corporate thing. But a music event is only that much more special if you pay attention to what musicians are telling you might be a good angle for you. And
Well, that's a great point, because it's a musician-centric thing, where a lot of them, you want the crowd to have a good experience. You want, they're the paying customers, but it is only an hour of your time, but it takes a lot of it. You got to remember all your songs. You got to put on a show, and so for the musicians to have a good time along with the fans is an amazing thing.
When the musicians are having a good time, the fans will be on board. They can't help it. You get drawn in, and when you're staring at pure joy on the stage, how can you not be drawn in? So what I have to do is calm down, not be so excited, and just relax and enjoy this whole endeavor from now for the next
99 days.
99
days. And you sit there and you go, man, that's a long time. But I remember we just came back from Cuba last month, and we had an amazing time down there, and that was a whole year.
Yeah.
And it seemed like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, boom, there it was. And then it was over.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Right?
What's going to happen when it's done? What am I going to have to look forward to then? But I am truly hoping and praying that maybe this will be a little bit of a catapult for our music careers, and hopefully some people will get to see the passion and energy that we put into what we're doing. And we are going to go out on a limb and do some some of our own material, not just
100%.
cover material. So,
And it's important to note that this act doesn't kind of fit in your typical ECMA, Music Nova Scotia box, and that's not an insult to them or us. It's just the way that it is. So,
Right.
to be able to do this is a good thing for us.
phenomenal rock event. Phenomenal rock event. It's done right. It's just down to the forethought of letting everybody bring their chairs.
Amazing.
It's
Amazing.
nobody can stand for 3 days. It's just and there's still people crowding the stage and rocking out and dancing and whatever, but for the average bear, I really enjoy being able to go sit in my chair and watch the whole show. And it doesn't matter where you are, you can see the stage everywhere. The stage is very tall, it's up in the air, everybody can see
You
it.
just walk by it. It's
Yeah, it's amazing.
probably 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And that's when Dartmouth comes alive. Now, one of the things that you wanted to do, and it's going to be neat, kind of in the vein of the way the old Motown acts used to be, and then some of the rock acts. You've invited a couple of ladies to play with us that day.
So we actually did a benefit where these ladies were invited to come. They have a band called Gypsy River, who we very much enjoy, and it's very clear that these young women have done the work. And I was thinking about what our experience was going to be like, and I want it to be relaxing and enjoyable, even for my guys. I want them to be able to play their instruments. I'm like, I would like for there to be no distractions for me. I would like for there to be no distractions for my players.
Right.
And if the guys don't have to worry about backup vocals, then they'll be able to focus on their instrument and enjoy the experience. So we did put our heads together and decide to invite these two ladies to enjoy being on stage with us and cover some background vocals and have the experience of a lifetime. So they were super excited to join us, and we're actually going to go listen to them tonight perform.
And there's going to be a little fun thing. What is Michelle Ryder and Tamara and Sarah going to wear at this show, right? So that's kind of fun, too. So rocktheharbor.ca is where you get the tickets. That's super exciting. And there will be a lot of drumsticks dropped. People ask me about that. That's just one of our shows. I want to thank Lori and the team for inviting us this year. It's very cool. Titan's also on the bill. We're going to get them on the segment here as soon as Dave wants it to be on a golf course. Dave Robertson golf course, and so I don't know, can't see it. But anyway, thanks for doing this.
My pleasure.
Rock the Harbour.
Let's go.
Coming at you. Peace.